So, what is life about? What do you think? I don't know what I think. Not anymore. I need to get this closer. Yeah, I've been thinking about how to start this and thinking about when I was a child and what do you think about the world? What did you think? Like when you're 3, I guess that's my earliest memories. And they were pleasant and good. And then as time went on, I couldn't figure it out. I wanted to understand what I was doing here and who I was in comparison to everybody else. And it seemed like I was stuck in a place. I was who I was born to be with the parents I had and the situation and the environment and the billions of sisters and brothers. And so why? Why did I get that? Why did you get what you got? And did you ever think about it like I did? I think about everything. Always. Double time. My brain is like a ping pong. A girl told me yesterday, your mind is like pong. Boom, boom, boom. It is. It's always been. I'm like a plumb line. You know how you hang a string from the ceiling and then it's straight? And that's me. I'm over here, over there, over here, but this, but that. It's bad. I'll tell you how bad it is. I have a ton of stuff to get rid of because I have clutter, because I am like my mom and I hated her clutter and I was always fixing her, and here I am, right in the middle of it again. So, for 2 years, I have piles and I go, I'm just going to give it away freely, give it to the universe. And some of it's worth quite a bit of money. So I'm just going to give it away and it'll come back to me. I know it will. Yes, it will. I do know it will because it always has. And then I say, but wait, I'm not earning money really right now. And David is. Is that right of me? Maybe if I sold it, 2 things would happen. First, people would value it more. Right? We value what we have to pay for and just give a really good deal and then take that money and use it as a seed to start something good, like what I'm doing. And so I go back and forth. Which way should I go? And guess what? The piles are still there. I move them every now and then or brush off the dirt and add a little or take a little away. But my mind can't get right about it. Same with everything in the universe. I'm back and forth. It's weird. Are you that way? Well, we only know who we are. I can't know you. You can't know me. Gosh, we can hardly know ourselves. That's a chore. And I've worked at it. I think I've always been a little weird. I haven't thought that about myself until the past 20 years. I've had to acknowledge it. I thought I had it all together. You know, not at first, of course, but after I was 30, I thought I knew what was up. And I worked hard to know what was up. I've always paid attention and felt like I needed to give something back to the universe. And so, okay, back to, what did you think? Why are you here? Did you have a purpose? Did you love something? Or were you passionate about something from the beginning? I wasn't. I wish I had been. Well, I was curious, and I liked puzzles, but I wasn't great at music. There are a lot of funny stories about that. My grandma, when she died, I loved her more than life. And when she died, we always sang in our family. And so in the hospital bed, I just took her hand and started singing, "You Are My Sunshine." And she could hardly talk, but she squeezed my hand and said, "Please don't sing. I'm pretty bad. I am." And I don't know how I sound. I don't know how I look. And you don't know how you look to other people. And so it's weird figuring out who we are, isn't it? We get clues from the social mirror and sometimes ignore them. And sometimes we take them too much to heart. And so life is a challenge. And it's important to get started on the right foot, right? Sometimes people, I remember the first time I went to spend the night with a girlfriend, and I think I was in second grade, and it flipped me out because we went to her house and got off the bus, and her mom was there with cookies. And then we went in and we talked, and then we played, and then we had dinner, and it was very organized at a certain time. And it wasn't real formal, but it was a habit. And we talked, and they asked me questions. I remember it so well. And then later we went upstairs to her room, and it was beautifully perfect with 2 twin beds, and it was wonderful. And the next morning was the same. Her mom had our lunches, and it was orderly and sweet. And I went home and went, "What's wrong with this picture?" Really, I did. Because I was the oldest of 7. And, well, until, by the time I was 10, we also had 2 other people, Donnie, a guy a couple years older than me that moved in, and then Connie, this little girl that my mom adopted. My mom just loved kids, and she was an only child. And so she was really mature for her age because she grew herself up, which is part of the story too. Because until you know who my mom is and how she grew up and who my dad is and how he grew up, how can you know what's in me? Right? I mean, I can judge my dad or my mom, but until I walk in their shoes, I really don't know. And so I've tried to go back and to look and see who they were and what was important to them. And that's a big part of who we are. And I often wonder about people that don't know their parents or maybe lost them early. Not lost them, but they died early. And then you must always be trying to put together the pieces. And hopefully family helps with that. And we can help each other. There's so much that we can learn by trying to walk in the shoes of other people and to figure out maybe what moves them and why they were the way they were. I could be mad at my mom for getting married so young at age 13, and then she had me, and every 18 months another child. And till there were 8. The last one died, and then she adopted the Donnie and Connie. Later, not adopted them formally, but they lived with us, and so there were 2 more people in our house. And so life was different than it was for my mom, who was an only child growing up in DC. And her mom worked all the time, and her dad was an alcoholic, and she raised herself. So by the time you're 13, living in Northwest DC in the 30s, you're grown up. More than kids today. So, she had friends. She had kids. And we were her friends. And we were. And some of us more than others. I wasn't so much. I could have been. We could have gotten along wonderfully because we loved a lot of the same things. But there wasn't any time for that because I was her helper. Whether I wanted to be or not, whether I made an effort or not, it just was that way. And if there were 2 kids to carry, I had 1. And there were always 2 kids to carry. And so who are we? And what do we think about who we are? And how do we discern who we are in a world of push and shove? I see parents today that raise their kids and anything's acceptable. And the kids don't really have any responsibilities, just to play games. And how different life is today. And no wonder we have problems with interpersonal relationships. I do. I have a lot of challenges, and I'm not sure why, except that I would imagine all of us come with baggage, and some of it is worthy baggage, memories that you don't want to lose, even if they're a little negative, because they drive you or direct you or remind you of what you don't want to be. And then there's baggage that's just plain a waste that you need to get rid of. Like thinking you know what somebody else thinks. That kind of stuff. Or thinking that a person had one intention and you haven't asked them. That kind of stuff needs to go. But I had one more thing I was thinking about, is that there are a lot of different ways we can figure out who we are. I've got a list of them, and I've worked through all of them. And I'm hoping it'll help someone else. Oh, here was my other point. The generations are so different. I don't know how to communicate with my grandkids. And it's not like it was with us. We would tell each other anything, and the next day we'd be over it. It's not like that today. You've got to be kind. I don't like kind. I think kind is great sometimes. All right. Well, 14 minutes. That's a good intro. And as usual, whenever I've gotten up to give a speech, and I've given a lot of speeches between marrying people and burying people, and I was a distinguished Toastmaster. I guess I still am. Don't judge me. This is new. But I've given a lot, and every daggone time I get up and I have no spit, none. It's the butterflies. All right, I'll be back. Hope you'll join me.